It's the 7th of September 2007. I'm here in the centre of Paris for the opening day of the Rugby World Cup. 48 games and 20 teams. Let the battle commence!
Allez hop, un matin, une louloute est venue chez moi, poupée de cellophane, cheveux chinois, un sparadrap, une gueule de bois, a bu ma bière dans un grand verre en caoutchouc, comme un indien dans son igloo. Ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi,
Now the French papers today are full of it. They can't get enough of the rugby. Look at Francois Chargé. I'll charge the head off you. Le Parisien, que la fête commence. May the party begin. But the most interesting thing in the French national sports newspaper, but look at this, the 5 favourites, Australia, South Africa, France, the All Blacks, England, the 5 favourites. Are England a favourite for the World Cup? Where's Brian O'Driscoll? Where's Ireland? Or are we just coming in under le radar? Somebody in 6 weeks' time are going to get their paws on the Webb Ellis Trophy. We're ready, Eddie's ready, Ireland's ready, and these boys behind me are ready. Los Pumas and Los Franceses. They're playing in the opening game, and the interesting thing is, they're in our division. We've got to play France and Los Pumas. On Ireland! And I'm not staying here. Let's play now. It's time to get down to Bordeaux, boys. How do I go to Bordeaux? Gare du Nord? Bordeaux?
No.
Montparnasse?
Austerlitz.
See you in 2 weeks when I come back with the Irish power.
The Rugby World Cup got underway with a bang last night as Argentina upset hosts France in a Paris thriller. It's a result that blows Ireland's Pool D wide open.
I'm after leaving Paris on the train. We're heading to Bordeaux. This is it. Ireland's first game against Namibia and the World Cup happens tomorrow and I'm going to be there. How many Irish are going to turn up? I don't know. They're supposed to win this by a cricket score. Will there be a couple of hundred Irish? Will there be 10,000? We don't know. I'm chomping at the bit to see the lads. I'm sure the lads are chomping at the bit to get out on that pitch.
Right. Hello, and you're very welcome to Eddie O'Sullivan's video diary. It's the first time I've ever done one of these, but I think it's important to keep a record of the events in the World Cup as they unfold from an Irish perspective. Particularly as I think this year we could go all the way, you know, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that. Also just to do it for the sake of posterity, I suppose, or more accurately, prosperity. The old Christmas DVD, you know what I'm saying? Cash in advance. You can't beat a bit of cash. Right, folks, good night. Big day tomorrow.
We here in the IRFU are in a very fortunate position. We've managed to convince the best coach in world rugby to sign a 4-year contract before we've even played a World Cup match. Now that's what I call good business. Well done, us.
Sunday afternoon in Bordeaux. The place is chilled out, it's relaxed. It feels as if everyone having a siesta. But that's all going to change in a couple of hours when Ireland take the field and all hell is going to break loose in this town. Yeah, in there. Excuse me, sorry.
Oh my God.
Get a night till I bless you. One, I bless you in the name of Ron O'Gara. I bless you in the name of Brian O'Driscoll. Je m'appelle Hector. Take off your hat and I bless you in the name of Ireland. May the strength of Ronan O'Gara drive ye back. May the power of Brian O'Driscoll break every bone in the French team. And finally, may you get bet out of the tournament as quickly as possible. I bless you in the name of Brian O'Driscoll.
No, not Brian.
Who do you want? Who do you want?
Stringer.
Jesus. I bless you in the name of the finest ball rugby player in the world.
Exactly.
And I bless this foot. May it go forth and multiply over the next few days and the next few weeks in France. And then may Dunica know where this arrow goes to. This is a rival face painting operation, eh? Show me your permit. Identification. To face paint Irish people. Stand up and take away the shades till I see your eyes. I have to see the eyes. This is like something you see on the Ganges. The hardcore fans may go to Paris, but the real fans go to Bordeaux. But this is it, lad. It's an hour to kick off here in Bordeaux. The first game of Ireland's campaign in the World Cup. 4 years of preparation. And I'm telling you what, they said the Irish weren't going to come to Bordeaux. And look around you. The thousands have emerged. What about Argentina beating France? What do you think that does for us?
Well, I think it's wonderful, because we have to beat them all anyway.
Right, and what do you think is going to happen, lads?
We will win the World Cup.
Give me a prediction against Namibia. Score?
85-5.
Prediction?
62-17.
Prediction, my son?
50-0.
And a prediction from the president of Edenderry Rugby Club here.
87-3.
That's the stuff! On the Offaly, boys!
If you think that our position is about, generally speaking, in the top 8, the quarter-final must be the limit always of our ambitions. And if you look at each World Cup, that's where we've been.
There had been some ominous warnings in the friendlies and the warm-up games, but I still thought that this was a golden generation of players and that it would come good.
They were the great outside bet and a legitimate punt for just about everybody. Everybody thought this was going to be Ireland's year. You know, Eddie O'Sullivan, it was his second World Cup. All the experience of the first would help nourish this second campaign.
When the pool was decided, I looked at it and I said, this is the first World Cup we're going to struggle to actually make the quarterfinals.
Gara, 18 minutes, lofted it up for Trimble in the corner, just like Shaggy Horgan did in Croke Park, up and under and in the corner. Minutes gone, just as we were looking for a score, they have it. The pack drove Ireland 20, Namibia 0. Come on! A bit of a melee. I think O'Gara was tackled late. Paul O'Connell was in like a light to bust your man. Come on, Ireland! Ireland 27, Namibia 3, 56 minutes gone. The game's over. But we need a lot more scores. Come on, boys. Namibia are all over us at the moment. Try for the Namibian. Try for Namibia. Listen to what the French are singing. Ireland are 27, Namibia 17. Now, I know it's an opening game. I know the game probably is safe, but there's no need for that messing. It's not good for the head. Not good for the head at all.
These were against Namibia. He's picked his first choice team. So where does he go from here? And it was awful.
And I don't think it was a surprise or even, necessarily worthy of criticism. They got off to a slow start. Everybody in the Northern Hemisphere seems to have eased their way into the World Cup. And it was a struggle against Namibia, but they got away with it. They got the bonus point in the end, and it was all right.
Right, well, we got our World Cup campaign off to a good start last night. Victory over Namibia. They're a very professional outfit, considering they're a bunch of amateurs. Couldn't get the ball off them for 25 minutes, and to be honest with you, we were blessed to get out of it. But I suppose, on a positive note, things can only get better, Things can only get better. Can only get better.
It's Monday morning, the day after the win against Namibia, and I'm heading to the team hotel outside Bordeaux in a place called Le Lac. Oh, look at this. I haven't seen this man since he can rose for the ball in Croke Park like a real meat man.
Yeah,
good. Well, lads, how's Tricks with you?
He makes the tea for all the lads, Yeah. He's one of the younger fellas in this side, so.
What's the crack with you? How are you? All right?
Yeah, grand.
Which one was it?
This one. It's grand. All the hair fell off.
So, is it all right?
Yeah, it's grand.
The French got behind Namibia, didn't they?
They did.
Just because they had the blue jersey.
Allez le bleu.
Allez le bleu. But come here, it was good to get points in the bag and get maximum points.
Yeah, I think we're pretty disappointed with the performance, but 5 points in the top of the group now, so look forward to next week. Good.
And come here, what was their nerves? Was it great to get out on the pitch last night after weeks and months of preparation, just get in there?
It was nerves, yeah. Obviously, first World Cup match, but the most important thing is we won the game. We didn't play particularly well, but we've got to put it right for this week now.
I think the team made a lot of mistakes overall, and everyone was disappointed with the result.
And changes for the next day?
15 changes.
Give us the numbers where you see the problems are. The numbers are in the team. 1, 2...
2, 6, 8.
Hey, what about Ronan's kicking? It was a good try yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice.
To be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know.
I think we need Brian Kearney in 10.
Oh, look at him, look.
What's going on?
Look at them.
Come here.
Nothing, we're doing a sequel to Chasing the Lions. Yeah, boys, stay good. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Did you see the thousands of Irish down there last night? Unbelievable. It must be 15,000. The vibe and feedback I'm getting from Ireland is that the press and the pundits are slaughtering Eddie and the boys. OK if it was a bad performance, but is it not all about getting maximum points? And that's what they did. Why are we writing this team off after their first game of the tournament when they did get maximum points?
The paper's saying that Ireland are underperforming, that they're nowhere near the level they were at Six Nations, that they have a huge gap to fill and to get back to where they were at Six Nations, and that there's no sign that they're doing it at the moment.
Is there too much expectation on this team now because we're playing well, we're hammering England in Croke Park? Every mother, child and granny and farmer in the country likes rugby now. So is there too much expectation?
I don't think there's too much expectation. We should have won the Six Nations and we didn't. Bounce of a ball against France and we would have won it. I think this is probably the best team we've ever had, and if you look through the individuals on the team, that there are a lot of world-class players there. So no, I don't think the expectations are too high. I think this is a good team. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's a team that's not performing to its capabilities, and that's the problem.
Well, I just don't understand it. I think there's been a complete overreaction to Ireland's World Cup performance so far. I mean, I think they've done super. It's a super little team, and, you know, they've done tremendously well so far. They've given years and years of pleasure to the Irish public. And I think these little skivvies in the media giving out about them and giving out about Eddie, I just think they're absolutely appalling.
We know what went wrong on last Sunday night. We knew very quickly after the game what went wrong. We've confirmed that the day after. Now we've moved on to try and prepare for the next game and fix the mistakes we made. We need to improve our performance quite considerably from last week. Having said that, I think we would have to take control of that ourselves and manage our own performance against Georgia. They'll be very fired up. I think most of these players coming out tomorrow evening is their first game of the tournament. They'll be very fired up and they'll be very aggressive, and we'll have to control the football a lot better than we did against Namibia.
That's it, lads. The press conference is over. Good crowd there. Brian O'Driscoll's just after throwing a pen at the back of my head because he knows we're in town. Good to see you.
Yeah, well, thanks. Good to see you.
I haven't seen that man in the flesh since Christchurch, or Wellington, or Auckland.
Eddie O'Sullivan has rejected calls for change. He's made just one.
This is pretty much the team that went so well in the Six Nations, and they were nowhere near that on Sunday night. And I feel, you know, they deserve a chance to put it right, and I'm sure they will.
Opening game, obviously against Namibia, confirmed all the bad impressions of the warm-ups. And then for me, the following team announcement, when it was virtually the same team, Shane Horgan back in, the chosen 15, as seemingly picked last March the 17th, straight after their home game, regardless of whatever happened in between. I just thought, uh-oh, no.
Right, lads, tomorrow we play Georgia. Now, I want to know what the L.E. Etna, what she tells me the score is. What's the score tomorrow, lads? What do you think it's going to be, lads? 67. 3. Sign her up there now. She's going out to the Liverpool and she'll probably be in the Canaries next week. 67-3. I hope you're right. When the ball comes in, you turn and lift them. See the way we have the red hedge up? We have to support our own, man. Yeah. Are you ready? Here we go, lads. Come on. Ireland versus Georgia, 2 minutes to go. Ireland 64, Georgia 3. Listen to the call now, lads, and show me some fucking pride. Call it.
Every truck and tree, trolley.
Up you go. Oh, Jesus. What the hell was that? Lads, lift them high, lift them for Ireland. Listen to the call.
Every truck and tree, trolley.
Oh, I like it. Right, lads, I hear the French Navy's in next door. Good luck. Now, I need your help here, right? Because I'm going to lay out a couple of 10 jerseys with an aggregate score, Ireland versus Georgia. Going to gas people for their prediction. Closest prediction, I'll give them the T-shirt. And they have to wear it back there and then. How's that?
Right,
you take care of that?
I'll stop the music, cars, the traffic.
No bother. Did you ever play in there, did you?
3 times, Hector. Won them all. European Cup semi-final. Berlitz beat them in there, and 2 French semi-finals.
No way.
Nice stadium, nice stadium.
You can have a choice. Your closest score, you have to put the T-shirt on now. Listen, the man from Loughrea says 33-11. Give him a round of applause. Like, come on. 52-10, get your top off. Lads, he said Ireland will win 82-12. Give him a round of applause. Here we go for the 28-3. Comment allez-vous? Comment?
Bien, bien.
No, comment j'appelle? Trevor, translate.
Comment tu t'appelles?
George.
Il s'appelle Hector, mais il est fou.
Tell him I hope Namibia beat the shite out of them tomorrow.
Il espère Namibia gagner contre France demain. C'est pas là.
Right, get your top off for the lads. Come on. Come on, give a round of applause. All right, 44-14. All right, get your top off for the lads.
They shouldn't have had that burger.
Come with me and pick a T-shirt for the score. You have to wear it for 5 days and never take it off. And you? 17, but you have to take your top off. And here we are. Hey, merci.
That's your T-shirt for the match.
What's your name?
Fergus.
And what do you think Ireland will win by?
17-0.
Yeah! Prediction from you, Trevor Brennan, tonight? No.
If Ireland don't beat them by 50 points now. Shocking start last week against Namibia. The lads, they're going in. It's World Cup final next week against France. If we don't win that, we may pack the bags and go home.
Shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer. Oh, let's go. We'll answer. Oh, let's go.
This is it. This is what it's all about. After a week of talking, we're back where we started against Georgia, live in Bordeaux. Let's take the finger out Ireland and let's get stuck in. Come on! Just 6 minutes gone, 7 minutes gone. Sluggish start again from Ireland. These Georgians are no pushover, I'll tell you that. Ireland, we're shy of the game. I'll tell you what, we needed that score big time. We need to take a grip of this game and put some control over it. Oh, get him down! Take him down! That's it, Georgia just scored the penalty. 7-3, 3 minutes to go till half-time. Not the score Ireland wanted. Georgia driving for the line. Georgia have just scored and puts Georgia ahead of Ireland, 10-7 to Georgia. Ireland trail in the World Cup in Bordeaux. I'm stunned, I'm shocked. And listen to the crowd. Georgie, Georgie. Come on, Ireland! What's driving on? Come on, Ireland! And get stuck in, will you? Come on! Ireland just scored a try. 14-10, we're living on tender hooks here in Bordeaux, I swear to God. Put it out! Run out! The passion Georgia are playing, what I've never seen anything like it. We have hung on by the skin of our teeth. Ireland 14-10, bonus point out the window. We better leave this in Bordeaux, because if we don't get better in Paris, we're shagged. That's the World Cup, gone.
Ireland, took that bad starting point and simply got worse. I mean, for me, Georgia were unlucky not to win.
Georgia are physically stronger than us. The two centres were indistinguishable from the two props. The entire Georgia team was made up of middleweight wrestlers.
When Ireland were a little bit lucky to win, to beat Georgia, a mate of mine texted me, we've just gone out of the World Cup. And I had a feeling that he was right.
I mean, this is a very strong side and a very good side that is obviously not playing anywhere near its peak. And I fear that once you start to go, you can't get it back together again. I think that there's a cruel truth to sport that when you've gone, you stay gone.
But when I said that things could only get better after the Namibia game, I didn't bargain on that performance against Georgia, I can tell you. 14 points to 10 against Georgia. If Raj hadn't got the 2 conversions, we would have drawn the game, I mean, we had a good start. Nice try, well set up by Paul O'Connell, but unfortunately so did they. Well set up by Peter Stringer. Oh, what am I going to do against France? There's only one thing for it. I'm going to drop Dennis and Peter from the first 15, and I'm going to drop Jordan Murphy off the bench. For no particular reason. I just don't really like his beard, Stupid looking thing.
Well, here we are in Paris on the banks of the River Seine.
This is where you want to be. This is where it's at. For style, for romance, for culture, but certainly not for Irish bloody rugby. It's appalling!
Irish rugby has never been bigger. The players now, all of them are professional, and they've always had this media routine of interviews, team days, press days, sponsors days, fan days, and it is a routine and it gets them through the week, and they do it without thinking about it now.
These are extraordinarily closeted sportsmen. If they want someone to scratch their nose, there is somebody to scratch their nose. I always remember coaching Connacht, and Noel Mannion asked for a dessert from the trolley, and he was told only the committee men get desserts from the trolley, the players get apple pie. This team gets desserts from the trolley. This team gets crêpe Suzette flambe if it wants it. This team has room service. This team has everything it wants, and yet it cannot perform.
How did you get your hands on that? How did you get your hands on that, Clive? You know, it's just, it's hard to get the balance right, you know. I mean, you do your best, you put all your management skills into it, you put all your coaching skills into it, and then we just turn out to be shite.
Welcome to Paris. It's the press conference the day before the French match, and things are hotting up.
I was very clear in my mind when I made that decision, and hard enough as it was, I think it had to be made, and we just kick on from there. And that doesn't mean Peter Stringer won't play for Ireland again. Someone asked me that the other day, is this the end of Peter Stringer? And I just had to laugh, because anybody knows the guy. You know, it's not the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog, and he epitomises that better than anybody else.
Look, I mean, I suppose the truth is you can take a fish out of a river and throw him in a bucket, but that doesn't mean it's going to taste good at dinner time, you know? You can be cycling down a hill, but it feels like you're cycling up a hill, pulling a big tractor behind you. You can't unlock a door. Well, I suppose you can unlock the door if you've got a key, but you can't unlose a key.
And finally, last but not least.
Certainly not least.
How are you keeping?
I'm grand, not a bother.
Two things. Barry McGuigan won Hell's Kitchen.
I heard that all right.
Did you see that?
I didn't actually see it, but I heard about it.
And I'm going up the Eiffel Tower later, and I'm going to take a bus round. So if you want to have a break, come with us.
Okay. Thanks.
Come here.
I hope it's an open top, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an open top. We're going to take a tour. How are you keeping? A busy, mad week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good since we got into Paris yesterday. It's you don't properly feel the build-up sometimes until you get to the place of where you're going to play, and obviously Paris, being the city that it is, you can see getting the police escort through the city. Everyone's stopping and looking, and they know there's a big game on this weekend.
Listen, I went home there for 2 days, and I know you boys haven't played well, and I know there's a big game in you. I just want you to know that we're behind you. People up and down the country are just going, there has to be one big game. It has to be there, doesn't it? That big performance.
We know it's there. It's just a matter of pulling it out. You know, we've team for a number of years, and you can't turn into a bad team overnight. We realise that individually, you know, first and foremost, we haven't performed. So, you know, if everyone gets their own individual performance right, collectively you come together. That's the way we've worked it for a number of years, and that's the way I know that it'll work come tomorrow evening.
Well, when you're singing that Ireland's Call, man, we're behind you.
Appreciate it.
And it's not about the shoulder this time. Get stuck, get in there, get in there tomorrow night, and we're all behind you.
We're using the shoulder this time.
Listen, I'll give you a shout. We'll go on the Eiffel Tower later on.
So I look forward to it.
Good luck.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Eddie. It's Stan here.
Oh, hi, Stan.
I'm not too bad.
Yeah, listen, I'm writing down something here.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be over in Paris for the big game, and that you have the support of me and all the lads at the FAI.
Oh, it's good to hear, Stan. Really,
I would love to go into the dressing room before the big game and try and rally the troops for you. As you know, I'm a very powerful motivational speaker.
I'm sure you are.
You and I have a lot in common, Eddie. We're both big-time managers.
Yeah.
We're both under the microscope.
Yeah.
We're both Irish.
Yes.
And we're both fucked.
Oh, thanks very much, Stan. Right, good luck. Bye. Clown.
When the first performance didn't go well, it was like, uh-oh, what do I do next? And his natural gut instinct has always been conservative. both in terms of using the bench and in terms of using the squad. So he just went back to gut instinct.
I think he is a very good manager. And that is why he has taken so much upon himself, because he is incredibly organised. He does little else except eat, sleep and drink the game. You know, he's an insomniac, so this game takes over his life. What he is bad at, he's always been a bad selector.
I think it would have been great for the team if 8, 9, 10 changes had been made for the second match, and guys like Quinney and Malcolm O'Kelly and Neil Best come in, and you could be sure they would have made a statement.
Eddie O'Sullivan does use the bench as a bench for people to sit on. He has not come to terms with the fact that this is a 22-man game.
Right, well, here we are. This is my room here in Paris, and things are really hotting up before this French game. We're certainly under the cash, and we're under the media spotlight, there's no question about it. Thornley had the cheek to ask me at a press conference this morning whether I'd worked out a game plan. Who the hell does he think he is? I mean, of course I have a game plan. It's just not the same game plan as the players.
To savour the atmosphere here in Paris before this epic do-or-die encounter between Ireland and French rivals France.
It's Friday the 21st of September, and tonight in Stade de France, Ireland are going to play the biggest game in their history. It's been the dirtiest build-up to a test match I've ever seen. The French newspapers all week have been slagging Ron O'Gara, slagging off Eddie O'Sullivan. And tonight, we've only beaten them once in 35 years, and we have the chance to change all that. As L'Équipe says today, the moment of truth has arrived. We're at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower, a couple of hours to kick off. Thousands of Irish fans here. I've just bumped into a Munster man, a proud Munster man. Gerry, Fahy, how's things?
How are you doing, Hector?
When did you get over, Gerry?
Oh, I've been here for the last 2 years. I thought it was on 2 years ago, so I decided to fucking stay. I've been pissed since 1980.
What about the atmosphere, Borgie? It's great city, Paris, fantastic World Cup.
Yeah, it's okay, like, you know, it's a bit overrated, I think, Paris, you know. I mean, it's a bit of a kip, if you ask me. I just don't see what the IRFU are at. I mean, it's one thing moving the home matches from Lansdowne Road to Craig Park, but to come all the way over to Paris is just like a nightmare. You know? I mean, where am I going to meet the guys with a few points after the match, you know what I mean?
Come here, prediction for tonight, Gerry.
Going to win!
Can we turn it around?
We can, of course we can win. Even with the Munster lads we have there, they can turn it around. Raj's a legend. The Bullheads is a legend. They're going to take the French and stuff it up their arses.
Jesus Christ, lads, the adrenaline is pumping. If this is what it's going to feel like 2 hours before kick-off, and I'm standing outside the ground, what is it going to be like when we're inside? Good Lord, Jesus Christ. I want to get everyone, man, woman and child in the country behind these lads. Come on! I want you to give a message to the Irish people down there. Tell that Irish team what you want, lads.
We love you. Come on,
Have you a message for O'Driscoll and the players that take the pitch
Brian and the lads, we're behind you tonight. We're here. We want you to win.
I know, you are very quiet. Why aren't you very happy behind your team? Come on, sing us a song. With me is the coach of the Irish team, Eddie. Just an hour to go to kick-off. How are the lads and how have they been this afternoon?
They're fantastic. You know, they're all in great form. We're all feeling very positive and confident that our planning and preparation will not fall short of what's required at the end of the day, you know. I suppose when you look at it, you know, there's a bit of negativity attached to it before the game, but we've managed to park that, you know, like you can't run ring a bell, Hector, you know what I mean?
And Eddie, what is the mood like? How's Brian? Are they ready to take on the French in their own backyard?
They're all in great spirits, you know. I said to the lads after the Georgia game, I said, you know, sometimes you dip your biscuit in hot tea and half the biscuit stays in the cup, do you know what I mean? Which, you know, I could tell they knew what I meant by that, you know, which was a relief because I didn't have a fucking clue.
What's he doing? France driving right underneath the posts. Stay out. 23 to France.
C'est fini. Envoyez les acteurs de ce match au vestiaire. Victoire, victoire, victoire. Victoire de l'équipe de France, 25-3, 2 essais.
To think that a French team would implode twice, that a French team would go out hosting its own tournament was just far-fetched. And in fact, we were unbelievably lucky that the French hadn't the courage to destroy us.
There were glimpses of a sort of stand up and be counted courage, but nothing in terms of invention.
35,000 people at an away match. Given the mood of the 35,000 leaving, okay, they had a few drinks, had a good night that night, but it's an expensive town, Paris, and what they saw and what they've seen in this World Cup, it could be a while before that kind of level of support comes again.
The final whistle's blown, 25-3 to France, and after a great day in Paris, thousands of Irish here. The atmosphere was unbelievable, electric. The hair was standing up my skin when I went into that game. I really believed we could do something, but in the end, France ran out with a little bit of help from Chris White, 25-3. What can we do now? Beat Argentina by a cricket score. Will that happen? I don't know. Are we finished? I'll leave it up to that squad in there.
We just lost to France 25-3, so wasn't a really close match really, and all the players very down, but I had a few grand on it, so just thought with the team we picked we had no hope in hell of winning it, so that's a positive.
It's not even 12 hours since the defeat last night at Stade de France and the IRFU. And there's Eddie Butler. They called a press conference at 8 o'clock in the morning here at the team hotel.
Eddie, have you had a chance now to look at the maps of what you might need next week, and what's your view on that now?
No, actually I haven't looked into that yet. We got back here about 1:15 last night, so we kind of looked more at the game this morning to see where things had gone wrong for us last night. That was it really. The position we're in regard to Argentina certainly is a bit of a mountain to climb now. There's no question about that. So that's for, I suppose, the rest of the week to figure out how to get around that one.
There were eyebrows raised when you were given and accepted a 4-year contract extension. Do you now hear the flapping of vultures' wings?
The flapping of vultures' wings? No, I don't. Look it, you can't unsign a contract. Thanks be to God.
Hello, Arfad.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's good. What, were you in the stadium?
I was here.
What do you think of it?
Bit of a sad night on the bridge. I think, listen, last night the guys done their best. They tried hard. Obviously on the night it wasn't good enough. Too many early penalties given away.
The ref did us no favours at all, did he?
Too many penalties, and then the one we got, we missed. Last night it was a bit hard to sit beside President Sarkozy, jumping up every 2 minutes.
And I saw there's a picture in L'Équipe today. You swapped a few jerseys.
We did,
good.
Yeah, we did.
You'll wear that to the next Dubs match.
Well,
do you think we're going to score 4 tries? In your now, honest opinion, between me and you, it's only our camera here.
Score 4 tries.
This isn't the RT News now. Tell me what you think.
And win by 7 points.
Will we do it?
I really think that.
Look at me as a Meath man, and I respect you as a Dub.
You really want the truth?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll do. Bertie, safe flying back.
Sure. I mean, you don't see too many Irish jerseys around today. They're all around last night, but they're not around today. Like,
I just think it's poor. There's just something wrong there. There's something wrong. We're doing criminal errors, just schoolboy errors.
a lot of people that were coming to the Argentina game now I'd be thinking about, like, is it worth a while? Like, you know what I mean?
Fairly brutal game now, sure. We'll have to wait for another 4 years, I think.
Absolute crap.
Berkey, what went wrong last night in Paris?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I started on the Long Island iced teas and I should have started on the high notes. You know what I mean? That was the biggest disaster. Then I went on to B-52s, then I went on to bombers. I was totally wasted. I was out of my bin, off my trolley, and like just totally wasted. It was a great night.
I've never been so depressed in my life. I'm suicidal, so I am. That was the worst piece of shite I've ever seen in my life.
Do you message Freddie O'Sullivan as he goes into this last couple of days?
Who?
Just come out here to the suburbs in Paris because the Argentinians are having a press conference. So we'll see if we get access and see if we meet any of the players. Felipe, ¿qué tal estás? Hector. Hacemos entrevista aquí, ¿no?
Héctor, qué noche anoche, ¿no?
¿Qué tal estás?
Héctor, qué
noche,
¿no?
Ayer.
Ayer.
El Vin Rouge.
Se te nota.
¿Te nota? ¿Vosotros no tenéis resaca en esta etapa? Oye, felicidades para coger los papeles de médico.
Gracias.
¿Crees en milagros? Porque necesitamos uno el domingo, ¿eh?
Soy más racional, más científico. Por eso estudié medicina. Igual creo en Dios y creo en los milagros.
¿Cómo ves el partido el domingo? Si Irlanda va directamente para marcar 4 tries, no quieren ganar el partido primero. ¿Cómo ves?
Son partidos difíciles de jugar. Creo que Irlanda primero va a plantear va a hacer un planteo como para posicionarse bien en el campo de juego, jugar estratégicamente bien y ver si los tries le llegan temprano o no. Y después, si no tiene posibilidad de convertir en los primeros 30 minutos, 40, va a tener que arriesgar y ahí sí va a salir a buscar los 4 tries. Pero bueno, creo que nosotros también vamos a ir a buscar tries. Creo que nosotros vamos a jugar un partido como si fuese nuestra última oportunidad, nuestra última chance también.
Suerte el domingo.
Muchas gracias.
Necesitamos un milagro.
Bueno, nunca se sabe.
Oye, te veo ahora otra vez en Dublín.
Gracias.
Gracias, Felipe.
Where's the fucking in? Well, I'm here at the Argentinian training session the day before the big game tomorrow. I decided to come in here surreptitiously, you know, to see what they're up to. You know, once they have the ball, looks like they're capable of doing anything. Running with it, passing, you know, scoring tries. We have to score 4. But I'd say the problem is they might score 8. If we don't win tomorrow, I'm rightly banjaxed. I'm looking at maybe a managership in the local centre. The only possible bit of optimism is the fact that Hernandez looks like he's a lot of strap on his leg. So we give him a kicking earlier on and hopefully he'll have to go off. But I'd say that's our best chance of not being humiliated, really, you know. Jesus, what are we going to do?
This last few days has been the hardest of the whole trip. The days running up to this Argentinian match. There's so much pressure and so much talk about this 4 tries. You know, and for us as fans here in Paris, it's difficult enough. How are those players feeling in there? You know, I just love to get 5 minutes with the lads, just to have a bit of banter, to raise a bit of crack and have a bit of a laugh. You know, but it's been really, really frustrating. But, you know, for this next match, it's the biggest match of this tournament so far. It's probably the biggest match Ireland are going to play in their history. I'm going to get behind the team and believe that they can beat Argentina here in Paris.
Irish coach Eddie Butler, can take some questions from the floor.
I think what you've got to do first is win the game. That's paramount. And then on that back of that, try and get the tries we need. You know, if you score 4 tries and lose the match, it doesn't really matter when you think about it. We will be times in the game when we won't have the ball and we want to have it. But we've got to be sensible and wait to get it back. And you know, that's just the way the game will be. We won't have the ball for 80 minutes tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have at least half the time, and then we can get about our business of scoring like we always do. And when we don't have it, you've got to get about the business of getting it back without giving up scores. So there's nothing new there, really.
Well, as the great Donald Rumsfeld once said, there are things we know. There are known unknowns. That is to say, there are things we now know we don't know. But there are also unknown unknowns. There are things we don't know. And that is really only the known knowns and the known unknowns. And each year we discover more of these unknown unknowns. And it sounds a bit like a riddle, but it isn't a riddle. It's a very serious and important matter.
We beat Georgia and Namibia, and then we got fucking trounced by France, and now we've got Argentina. Oh no, we're fucked. We're truly fucked. Against their pack, against their backs, we're fucked. Hey, go.
The thing about this game is that it's a do or die battle.
We've really got to go for it. We've got to score 4 tries, and we're going to throw caution to the wind by selecting 2 players that are different from the French game. We want to bring back Dennis Hickey and Jordan Murphy, and you know, that should make the radical difference that we'll be hoping for. Yeah.
Colin Murray here from RTE Television Sport here in Paris, France. And as you know, France are known as the Frogs, Australia are known as the Wallabies, South Africa are known as the Springboks. But will it be a case today of the Argentinian Pumas pouncing on the Irish Celtic Tigers? Rah!
We're outside the stadium, 2 hours to kick off, loads of Irish fans milling around. Is there a pot at the end of the rainbow?
Ask him.
Hey, look, le bouffe, le bouffe. Le steak tartare, le bouffe, le bouffe.
We're going to have to do it. 45-3.
Prediction.
47-10.
Prediction.
3-9.
Touch. Pause. And engage that camera. What do you think is going to happen?
22 equal.
22 equal?
Yeah, no, 8-8 and France out.
Oh! Yeah. Argentina, Ireland hate each other.
No.
Ah, okay, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. That is the most love that I've heard all week. There's too much been written in the media about this. Look at these, I love these boys. Oh yeah, te quiero mucho, te quiero mucho. Corletto, he has a lovely pair of legs. Malcolm, how's it? You must be delighted to get through to the quarterfinals.
Yes, well, as you can see on the expression of my face, I'm really thrilled to be here in Paris. I'm having a very nice time with the French. Of course, we're into the quarterfinals of this World Cup, unlike the era. But I've come here to the era match with the Argentines, who we beat in the war, you might remember. Not that we want to talk about that.
What I'm wondering to myself is it the final nail in the coffin of Mr. O'Sullivan? And if it is, I am here with the hammer to drive it home.
Well, yes, it was good for us to beat Ireland, but it is easy for us because we know before the game even starts that they are no good.
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, how do you know that before the game?
This what they call the Islands call. It is not about anything at all. You stand there singing Islands call.
Yes.
We know that we are going to win.
Well, before the tournament started, I would have had lots of advice for the era, but I'm afraid now there's really nothing left to be said because it appears to me that. You're shit.
But it stirs the blood. We sang it.
No. In France, you know what we are really singing when we hear this anthem of yours? We go, you have the clap national anthem, and when we hear it, we know you're shit. That's what we are singing. So it is easy for us. Allez les bleus!
Oh, yeah! 16 minutes gone. Argentina scored the first try. Argentina 8, Ireland 3. Listen, if this stays like this, we're in deep trouble. We need to start getting scores on the board. Hernandez strokes it over, drop goal. Argentina in 16 points to 10. Half-time glooming. Ireland 10, Argentina 21. It's slipping out of our grasp. We need a miracle. It's now or never. We've got about 26 minutes. Either we're out of this World Cup or we're in it. 67 minutes, 43 seconds gone. Argentina 8 points ahead here. They're just doing enough. There ain't no way we're going to score them 4 tries. It's 2 apiece at the moment.
It's over. Argentina are through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Ireland crash out, losing on a 15-point margin. That's the end of the road of what it has been a very, very disappointing World Cup campaign for Ireland.
Eddie, Colin Murray from RTE Television Sport. Are you a crock, monsieur? The clue is in the question. The clue is in the question.
It's not for want of trying. To think that Ireland are sort of just collapsed under the strain and everybody's given up, it's palpable nonsense. And rugby's quite a delicate game. Certainly the balances within a team sport are quite delicate, and that's where it's going wrong. Little fractures, little fissures, that are just spreading.
Just give us your verdict on that. I've been out here for a few weeks watching it, week in, week out.
You wasted your money. I should have gone home before the game started.
Ireland are the great unfulfilled squad stroke team of this World Cup. No doubt about it. Our golden generation of players have come up way short. Eddie has a phrase, he says, such a so-and-so player ticks all the boxes. Ireland haven't ticked one box in this World Cup.
I saw a great Argentinian side, and unfortunately we weren't up for it. We were beaten by the best side in the entire group, and they rightly topped the group, no argument.
No argument. We are seeing suddenly a narrowing of the gap, not between the top and the bottom, but between the middle and the bottom. And we are at the middle, and we are fast approaching the bottom of the middle.
We're not Munster. We did our fucking best, I suppose, but we're poor.
What do you think?
By a better team.
What do you think?
We're made by a better team.
You should be in now for O'Sullivan. I wish I could. Anybody could have been stoned and should have been in for O'Sullivan.
Eddie O'Sullivan has done a lot of good things for Ireland. And if it's gone wrong now, you can't suddenly say, we saw this coming. I'm afraid it doesn't work like that.
Coaches and nappies have an awful lot in common. They both need to be changed on a regular basis, and usually for the same bloody reason.
Look, we here in the IRFU are absolutely behind Eddie O'Sullivan. We feel he's done a super job. He's a super little fella, and I think the least he deserves is our support here in the committee. I mean, look, he has brought this team from nowhere to somewhere.
Irish fans just seem to cling to this never-ending do-or-die spirit. That the atmosphere was brilliant, wasn't it, in the beginning? And
I'll tell you what I thought was the best thing of the day. The Argentinian fans stood up for Dennis Hickey with him off his last cap.
What price did you give me Fiji to win the World Cup?
Fiji?
Yes.
Any price? It was 66.
66,000 to 1. Anyway, lads, that's it. Look, I'm going to have to wrap this up. We've been over here for 5 weeks following this Irish team. 3 cheers for Dennis Hickey. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip!
Right, I've just been beaten by Argentina. We're out of the World Cup. I always said it was the group of death, and I feel in some way vindicated by that, the fact that I called it correctly in the first place. It's a very depressing scenario, there's no question about it, but I suppose in a situation like this, whoever's responsible really should step forward and hold their hand up and cop the responsibility for the decline, for the demise, I suppose, in Irish rugby. So hopefully Brian will do that.
Yes, well, people may well be angry, but I think they're overreacting, to be honest. I mean, the guys did their best, and they're a super bunch of guys. Really, all we had, really, was a blip. We had a bad summer tour to Argentina, losing both tests, and then, of course, we were defeated by Scotland in a warm-up game, didn't perform against Namibia, didn't perform against Georgia, beaten by France and Argentina. A blip. If you're to look up the word blip, by the way, in the dictionary, it describes it as a small or relatively inconsequential moment within a larger context. A blip. That describes Ireland, I think, perfectly. Blippity blip, fucking blip.